Welcome to Furry's Guides. Today we're going to be covering how to re-roll the stats on your equipment that you get while leveling the Adventurer's gear or the Explorer's gear. When you've upgraded with at least the first Awakening Scroll from your green quests, you're going to get a stat on each piece of gear. It's not necessarily the stat that you want, so we're actually going to go over how to re-roll those stats, and I promise you this is a pain, but it's well worth it in the end. So you're going to want to be near a blacksmith, a weapon merchant, and an armor merchant, just to make things easier. There's one right here in the crafting district in Marianople. You can see my location on the map. If you come here, they're all right here in this area. You'll be able to do that. If you have lost any of the materials, thrown away any of the equipment, you will have to replace the synthesis items and the awakening scrolls that you have lost by going to a general merchant. There's one right across the street up there that you can get to pretty quick. So the first thing you're going to want to get is the Adventurer's Evanstones from the blacksmith here. Do not get the regular Evanstones. Those will break the gear down and you will lose everything that you've used to upgrade it. You'll lose the piece of gear, everything like that. So we don't want to use those. We're just going to use the Adventurer's Evanstones. So first off, we're going to go ahead and break a piece of equipment down. Just right click on the Evanstone. Find a piece of gear with a stat that you don't want on it. This one has strength, not good for me. So we're going to go ahead and break it down. You click on it, hit confirm, and it gives you back the synthesis material and the awakening scroll that you used to upgrade it. Now you'll need to go to the armor merchant to replace that item. I would suggest grabbing several crates. The crate that you grab doesn't matter as long as you grab the type of gear that you want: cloth, leather, or plate. There's 3 of each type. They all have different looks to them, but by the time you get up to Hiram gear, all of your gear will actually look the same. So it's not a big deal which one you grab. Just make sure you're grabbing the right type of armor. When you do your armor, you're going to open the box, and it gives you all the pieces of the set of cloth, or whichever one you chose. If there are items that you don't need to re-roll, or you've already re-rolled and have gotten the stat you wanted, you can just throw those items away. You can't resell the box or any of the armor to the merchant. I would suggest grabbing several boxes at a time. Once you've done that, go into the gear upgrade. We select the gloves because that's what we broke down. Put our synthesis material in there. Spend our 20 labor to upgrade. Head over to the awakening side, put a scroll in, put our gloves in, and awaken it. There was strength on it before, and now there's strength on it again. So you would repeat this process by just clicking the Evanstone, clicking the piece of gear, breaking it down, you get your items back, and then you do it on a new set of gloves. Weapons are pretty much the same, but you only get 1 weapon per box. Makes it a little bit neater and easier to do. If you have a shield, a bow, or a one-handed weapon, you would buy the one-handed weapons crate. If you want to do a two-hander, then you grab the two-handed weapon crate. And then you would do the process again. There's strength on my shield. Go ahead and use the Adventurer's Evanstone to break that down. Open the box, select what you broke down. Open that up. And do the process all over again. Pretty simple, but it does get time consuming. And it does eat up a little bit of your silver and a little bit of your labor. Unfortunately, you don't get any kind of jewelry that you can do this way. And you also don't get a loot that you can do this way. However, the loot is actually upgradable through the same materials as your other gear. There's just not one available from any of the merchants. So in the case of your loot, go ahead and pop your loot off. Come back into the gear upgrade. Up here at the top, you will hit replace effects. Once you've clicked that, go ahead and put your loot in there. Select the stat that you'll wish to replace. At this point, it should only be one. If you've already done more, then you would do more. You can use the magnifying glass to see what effects it can be replaced with. Spirit can only be replaced with the bundle 1 items. Both the other stats can be replaced with the bundle 2 items. And then if you had any change attempts, which you can store 5 at a time, you'd be able to hit replace, and it would replace that stat, no gold, no labor cost. You can do this with all of the items. However, you don't want to use those change attempts doing your main stat unless it's absolutely necessary. It's going to save you a lot of grief later on. If you run out of rerolls, you'll have to come into the honor market and buy these serendipity stones for 30,000 honor. Or in the diligence marketplace, you can buy these bound serendipity stone shards. You need 10 of them, so 100 diligence is going to make 1 shard, and that would give you 1 reroll on a piece of equipment. So you can see how that would add up as far as being too costly. Now you can re-roll your equipment all the way up until right before you turn it into Hiram gear. You can try to get both stats on each piece of equipment to exactly what you want them before you get them to Hiram gear. However, getting the first stat is going to be a pretty big pain. Getting both the first and second stat to roll right is going to be just immensely horrible. But that covers it for re-rolling your gear, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like, and check us out next time.